Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Kavalan Peated Cask. Dustin, first when you said Kavalan and Peated Cask, I thought to myself, well, that sounds weird. But I remember one time you told me that bourbon casks were just as good as sherry cask, and I didn't believe you, and I was wrong. So I'm done saying anything wrong with Kavalan or guessing against this. This is the Tom Brady of distilleries. So we have the Peated Cask Kavalan selected by the Nectar, and it comes in at 57.8%. This is from a Belgium website or Belgium store?
Yeah, I think this was picked. I think the Nectar is a Belgium store. I could be incorrect, or a group.
Yeah,
I just know anytime I see stuff from the Nectar, they're usually really good picks.
Sure.
They are pretty well known, I think.
Just for the sake of transparency, cast number R's and Randy 100106034. A is an apple. Dustin.
There you go.
What else you want to tell me about this?
Mike, not a lot actually. It's basically we've got the Kavalan distillate put in a former peated whiskey cask. I've not seen anywhere where it's listed what they use.
As far as what bourbon, the type of peated cask it is it bourbon or is it sherry cask? Do you know?
I don't know that, and I don't know what's the bottle count on there. That would give us some idea.
I'm not really sure what the bottle count is.
I don't know. It was on the back. I don't know.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to find
should
out.
Be somewhere on there. It's kind of faded. This label's a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Bottle number 66 of 111.
All right, that's bourbon cask then for sure.
Yeah, small outturn. 111. Bottle 66. Dark whiskey though. Look at this. This thing. Big cask strength, I believe, with a 57.something%.
Yeah. How good does that smell, Mike?
Jeez.
Just rich, intense vanilla, like the best bourbon, like a 25-year-old Pappy Van Winkle type vanilla oak. Just amazingness.
God, I mean, I keep waiting,
But then it's got dark fruits like a sherry cask would have without the chocolate.
And again, nothing off-putting.
Oh, light oak that's almost adding and then a little bit of smoke to go with that oak.
Yeah, it means it's a good amount of smoke in the background. That's what's just, I had, no expectation coming into this. Thought to myself, I like the sherry. The bourbon was really good. How good can the peated be? Man, this is a great nosing whiskey.
It's so intense, too. You can tell this is going to just explode with water, Mike.
Oh.
Like, I'm already salivating to add water just to nose it.
All right, so you caught me a little off guard here.
I'd forgotten how good it is, man. I haven't been back to this thing. I picked this up a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember having it a while back, but...
This is a 2018 bottling, so I probably got it in 19.
Okay, so besides the stuff you mentioned, man, there's a nice cinnamon note to this.
I was just getting ready to say there's a spice in there for sure. I'm not sure I was thinking more nutmeg, but you could be, maybe it's both.
I'm not saying it's the only spice.
Oh, you know what it is? Cinnamon roll. Yeah, it's a cinnamon roll, man. It's got a little bit of that frosting. Mm-hmm. And whatever else they put. I know it's cinnamon, but there's something in the breadiness here. Oh, yeah.
There's a cake batter note to it as well.
No, I'm actually getting a little bit of red hot now that I think about it.
I agree.
Every time I go back in for a nose, it just unwinds something new, something else here. And it goes from fruity to savory, sweet, and back again.
There's a light fruit for me. The smokiness from the peated cask keeps beating it back. I don't know if I ever shared this whiskey with you, but I had a couple bottles of Balvenie 17-year-old peated cask. Now, it wasn't peat week, so it wasn't a peated malt.
Correct.
It was unpeated malt that was in a peated cask. I really always liked that 17-year-old peated cask.
Yeah. You kind of said that letting that bottle kind of sit for a couple of years really brought it up too.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't one great at the neck pour, but I'm kind of getting some of those same notes of that. Like, man, the peat really complements what it is because there's almost like a little wall in between them. I mean, they're together, obviously. It's all in one smell. But it's easy to distinguish the peaty smoke element to it away from what would come off to me as a slightly sherried Kavalan, which I'm sure is a bourbon because every sherried Kavalan is an overly sherried Kavalan.
I'm telling you what, Mike, I get...
Cinnamon and oak has taken over now.
It definitely has, but if you kind of let it sit for a second, let it kind of build back up, you go back in, and that vanilla comes right back. That just beastly vanilla with like It's like the vanilla and the peat smoke are just like perfectly integrated.
Yeah.
They're playing. They're going down the road. One's in the left lane, one's in the right lane, and they're going the exact same speed.
Nothing off-putting, and you're right. It's so well put together every time with these whiskeys.
Oh man, beautiful nose, just excellent. I gotta get in there and taste it.
Yeah. I've thought that for probably the last 60 seconds, but the nose is so interesting on this one. Man, I tell you what, this distillery is a treasure.
And it's everything you hoped on the palate from the nose.
Give it to me.
Starts off vanilla, beautiful. Then it gets a little more citrusy. Smoke's coming through. Then it doesn't just get citrusy, it gets tropical fruit notes coming through, which you weren't even expecting. I'm getting like pineapples, mangoes, beautiful tropical fruits sneak in there. And then the finish, a little bit of oak, and then a nice dollop of smoke. Beautiful smoke coming through the whole way through, Mike. Really nicely done. Excellent start to finish. 3 or 4 different transitions, and they're very subtle transitions. It's not like this, then bang that, then bang that. No, it's sweet, then changing sweetness, then changing into spiciness, and then changing into oak and smoke. It's beautiful.
Agreed. This palate did not disappoint. I'm getting a lot of the same tropical fruit notes that you mentioned, which are typical of the bourbon cask maturation that I usually get from this distillery. So I'd say it's a bourbon cask that was peated. That would be my guess. Or is a bourbon cask that moved into a peated cask. Tropical fruit with just a backbone or a pillar of smoke throughout the entire experience. So it's almost like you're smoking meat like in a big smoker, except for instead of meats in there, there's fruits. Mm-hmm. And you're right, they're all tropical fruits. Pineapple, papaya, passion fruit, citrus fruits on the high end, on the low end, dancing around. Mm-hmm. Moving in a general same direction, and everyone's dancing in the same tune.
Yeah.
These are really well put together whiskeys. I continue to be impressed by these. And you're right, it's just as explosive of an experience on the palate as it was on the nose.
What makes this shocking to me, Mike, is usually to get this level of construction. When I say construction, I'm talking about kind of the way the whiskey balances itself.
Yes.
The way the start to finish. Well, making sure everybody listens.
I agree with you, man. But you're speaking truth.
Out of a single cask, like to know that this is the time for this one, it's ready. And I mean, the work that has to go into finding this stuff, like it's incredible they're able to do this. And they just keep knocking it out of the park with these winners. And I mean, again, it's balanced. Everything works together. It's incredible. I mean, it really is.
We've often said they must be getting the best cask in the business.
Yeah.
And they have a good climate for it. So
and they have an incredible malt. Like, just have everything.
If that is the scenario, because we've had multiple single casks that were just, as you described, masterpieces almost. I mean, people will blend, multiple casks together and not get that type of result.
Yeah.
So is it just, if you get the best cask you possibly can and filter out the ones that are mediocre, put a good spirit into it, put it in a climate that can age quickly, and have proper cask management by the team overseeing the whiskey? Could it just be that simple?
Yeah,
if not,
it's incredible. Yeah, that's all I can say.
If not, whoever their master blender is, or whoever their master blenders have been, that team of people, the last half a decade or decade.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whiskey in the industry needs to hire all of those people.
Yeah, no, I mean,
either it is climate and cask, or it is the finest whiskey craftsmen and craftswomen ever.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, Mike. This might be the best single malt distillery in the world. The level of consistency and quality that's coming out of these guys is insane.
There is no way that this can't be a group of just hardcore whiskey lovers from top to bottom. And I'm not saying the people that work at distillery, clearly they probably are everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people making corporate decisions. Sometimes we talk about the difference between 43 and 46%. That's a corporate decision a lot of times, not a master distiller's decision. Or
True.
We think this whiskey is best.
We are picking the best of the best stuff from them. We're not taking their core range. Where they're not quite at the same level, but
fair.
God, these are good. And Mike, water.
Well, my point is single cask.
Yeah.
You know, it's so rare. I mean, we had a Tomat 1988 single cask.
Yeah,
That was great. It had a great nose, had a great this. It wasn't this level of complexity. Nose, palate, finish.
No.
I mean, not even the same ballpark. I mean, if this was a pro, that whiskey was a high school whiskey.
God, this thing is now added in smoke, a little more smoke in the integration. Now I'm getting those tropical fruits on the nose.
The smoke changed too, or it intensified in a way that made it sooty. Okay,
it's dirtier now. You're right. Yeah.
It was a chimney. It's a chimney smoke now. Like before, I couldn't get the peat. Before it
was just a smoke. It wasn't peat per se. Yeah. Now it's peated.
That's a better way to say it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a dirty, sooty smoke.
The oaks come out a little bit more. God, it's good oak.
This sooty smoke would rival an Isla. No.
Yeah. I've had Kalilas that didn't even have this level of smoke, and this is just, this is not intense. I will say this is probably not as intense a peat as like the Glenlivet and Maduras can be, the peated ones, but it's close.
That's a good comparison. 16s?
That wasn't 16, the peated cask was always NAS, unfortunately.
Yeah, this comes off way older than that. And see, that's something that always helps this whiskey is, even if it's 5 or 6 years old, whatever it might be, it comes off so much older.
It's a 2018, and then,
I know
that thing is hard to read.
It was.
So I think that's a 2010.
It is. I read the number. It's a 2010.
So it's 8-year-old.
So
8 years old. Yeah.
For them, that's an ancient whiskey.
That's actually got a really good age statement then.
So here's the thing with all of these single cask ones that are picked by stores. I've never had one that wasn't not only good but incredible.
Yeah.
There is no reason not to take a gamble. None.
No.
And they're so inexpensive.
Yeah, this was like maybe $200. I think it was a little under.
Inexpensive is relative.
Yeah, but for this level of whiskey, that's insane. Again, Kavalan would charge for their normal single barrels $400, $500, $800.
It is because someone else picked it.
Yeah, because somebody else picked it, not them. It's like, oh well, we'll reduce that by half.
And just like the whiskey world pick, great job. Someone from there had to say, "Oh, this one." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Great job of nosing a whiskey. But again, these always seems like the whiskeys that they never do, and they put never do in their core range or their distillery releases because it was too off profile or whatever.
Oh, it's so bold now. The water actually made it more spicy, more intense. Whew.
That's a beautiful nosing whiskey.
Oh man,
this is a nose you absolutely get lost in.
God, those tropical fruits on the finish. The smoke's just billowing now coming out of there. Really a lot of like oak spice, balanced with that citrus, balanced with vanilla. The vanilla's come down a lot. Initially, there was a lot more. Now there's less. Less transition, less change, but just more explosive with water. Oh, man, I like it both ways.
Yep.
It's like buying two different whiskeys almost.
Yeah, at the end with water, the finish, there is a little bit of a stinging chocolate. Go along with a little bit of that red hot. Man.
Yeah, there's...
But yeah, the tropical fruit note is the big note here. It's that in the smoke.
Beautiful. You've talked about how you love and you seek tropical fruit notes. That's why you liked the Macallan 21 Fine Oak. Mm-hmm. Balvenie, 25-year-old. That's what sold you on that. Mm-hmm. It's here in spades, and those are $600 whiskeys.
This, I was going to say, this reminds me of a combination of Balvenie 17 Peated Cask and Macallan 21 Fine Oak at a much higher ABV.
Yeah.
And this is still better, but it takes the best elements of those two whiskeys.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good, Mike.
So good. So, again, the Balvenie 17 Peated Cask, there was a wall between the Balvenie malt and the peat. It has that here. And then, but except for the malt here is very comparable to that Macallan 21 Fine Oak if it was cask strength, and if Macallan's malt was as good as Kavalan's.
Yeah, Macallan's malt is not that good.
And it's not right, exactly.
Oh my goodness! Toasted, tutti fruity, a bubble gum, transitioning into tropical fruits and oak and spice, and man.
Is it the white tutti fruity?
This is actually tutti fruity, not Airheads.
Yes. Shout out to whoever it is that you called.
Thanks for that correction. I was like, oh, you totally nailed what I meant to say.
As soon as you said it, you guys take this, I'm like, that's what we were thinking of. You're absolutely right.
I was like, you just went in my brain and you found the missing link.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Excellent whiskey. Excellent whiskey. I would still go neat, like always, but I tell you what, the smoke don't get sooty with water.
I'm going to drink it. I think I'm going to drink half a glass neat, and then half with water, or maybe I'm going to pour a second.
Yeah, this is a 2-glasser. You put one water in, one right away. You drink the first one neat, you come back to the other one.
That's exactly how you should drink this one, 2 glasses at a time.
Every time I have a new whiskey, that's what I do. 2 glasses.
Makes sense.
One neat. I'll instantly put water in the other one, and you get to it. All right, we're rambling.
Yeah.
Whiskey score. Can I go first?
Absolutely.
These whiskeys, man.
I know.
These whiskeys. In my mind, like at first, I was thinking, my mind thinking, at least an 88, 89. But I got to tell you, as this experience went along, I just got to always call what it is, man. I always cannot believe how incredible these come off. But I'm at a 91. I'm at a 91 because you don't get that tropical fruit note very often. It gave me everything I liked about the Bourbon Cask Kavalan.
Yeah.
And then it gave me smoke too. I could convince myself it's a 92. I'm going to call it a 91, but I could convince myself this is a 92 whiskey all day. Again, once again, excellent job from this distillery. I'm sorry, I've rambled. I'll let you go.
I've been kicking around the exact same 2 numbers, Mike. I've been between a 91 and a 92. Well, it started off as a 90, and then I was like, no, that's too low. And then I got to 91, and I said, okay, 91. And then we added water, and it became this different and incredible experience. And then I said, crap, is this a 92?
Yeah.
I think that's the answer. It's a 92. I mean, again, with water, the thing is, I want to give it extra credit because it has 2 distinctly amazing whiskeys with that water addition. It's unbelievable.
Now the water's almost getting like sashaying like lemon meringue pie.
Every time I go back to nose this thing, I like it more, Mike. And every time I go back to taste it, I like it more. I mean, if we keep drinking this, it might be a 95 by the end of the night.
So again, if you watch any of our other videos that featured this incredible distillery and any other single barrels from random websites, the takeaway is buy these bottles.
Man.
They're not expensive. They're cask strength. And I've never had one that was anything less than great.
Yeah. I think the worst whiskey we've had from them might be the port finish, which we gave like an 89 or a 90. I love that bottle.
Yeah, that problem is, wow, it's so much port and so sweet.
Yeah.
Whatever you read on that label, you're getting. Take that to the bank.
Yeah.
There must be some type of advertisement laws in Taiwan that we're not used to in the rest of the world. If they say sherry cask, expect a sherry bomb. If they say bourbon cask, expect a trip through the Caribbean on vacation. If they say peated cask, expect a sooty island.
What really is incredible, remember that bourbon cask? We gave it to a friend of ours who's a big bourbon drinker. What did he do?
Bought one. 2.
I thought he bought 2.
Yeah, something like found one on a website like, this isn't the cask you guys thought. What do you think of this cask? I'm like, how bad could it be?
Yeah. I got a text from them too. He's like, hey. I'm like, I don't know. He goes, all right, I bought 2 different ones. I'm like, more power to you.
We tried them. They're just as good.
Yeah.
There are no disappointments.
No, I mean, these guys, we might say this one's better than that one or whatever, but at the end of the day, I mean,
there are no dogs.
We're tossing around epic versus even more epic versus only just really, really great.
You're at an all-star game.
Yeah.
Everyone's good.
Yeah, you're at an all-star game and there's no injury reserves.
Yeah, all-star game, Pro Bowl, whatever you want to call it. This is the best of the best. And every time it's good.
Yeah.
This is the dream team.
That's what it is. This is a dream team. It's 92 versus 94 versus 2008. We kind of skipped a few years between there.
Oh, what? Magic Johnson's coming out. Who's coming in for him? Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
John Stockton.
Yeah. Oh, Shaq's not out there? All right. Well, not Shaq. David Robinson's there. I was throwing Ewing and Elijah-Wan.
Elijah-Wan, whoever. I think Elijah-Wan played for another country, but you get my point.
He played for the U.S. team. He is from another country, but he played for us.
Yep. Nice.
He wanted to be a winner.
The dream. All right. Anyway, where were we? Those are our thoughts on the whiskey.
I'm lost, Mike. I'm going to keep drinking.
Yeah, 91 here, 92 for Dustin. Again, another just huge banger of a whiskey from our favorite distillery in Taiwan.
Tropical vanilla. Is that even a word? Sorry, I'm rambling.
Yeah, no, vanilla was there too. I didn't even mention that. Anyway, those are our thoughts on the whiskey, Dustin. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you think. And until next time, Dustin.
Happy tropical drinking.
We'll see you then.